Brazilian aviation during World War II represented the transformation of a regional air force into a modern combat arm operating alongside the Allies. Entering the war in 1942 after repeated German U-boat attacks on Brazilian shipping, Brazil relied almost entirely on American aircraft supplied through Lend-Lease. Brazilian pilots trained to U.S. standards and flew modern monoplanes in anti-submarine patrols, convoy escort missions, and ground attack operations in the Mediterranean theater. Though limited in size, Brazilian air power proved disciplined, effective, and highly respected by Allied commanders. The Boeing Stearman PT-17 Cadet, a primary trainer, reached around 124 miles per hour, weighed approximately 2,700 pounds, and had a range of about 505 miles. It formed the backbone of Brazilian pilot training, preparing hundreds of aviators for combat aircraft through its forgiving flight characteristics and rugged construction. The North American AT-6 Texan, an advanced trainer, flew at about 205 miles per hour, weighed roughly 4,200 pounds, and offered a range near 750 miles. Used extensively by the Brazilian Air Force, it bridged the gap between basic training and frontline fighters, and in some cases was adapted for light attack and coastal patrol duties. The Curtiss P-36 Hawk, reaching approximately 313 miles per hour, weighing around 5,300 pounds, and flying nearly 600 miles, was one of Brazil's earliest modern fighters. Though obsolete by mid-war standards, it provided valuable experience with all-metal monoplanes and retractable landing gear. The Curtiss P-40 Warhawk, flying at about 360 miles per hour, weighing roughly 8,300 pounds, and offering a range near 650 miles, became one of the most important fighters in Brazilian service. Rugged, heavily armed, and reliable, it was used for coastal defense, interception training, and operational readiness during Brazil's mobilization phase. The Lockheed A-29 Hudson, a twin-engine maritime patrol bomber, reached around 246 miles per hour, weighed approximately 18,500 pounds, and had a range of nearly 1,960 miles. Operated intensively along Brazil's vast coastline, it played a crucial role in anti-submarine warfare, convoy escort, and long-range patrols over the Atlantic. The consolidated PBY Catalina, flying at about 179 miles per hour, weighing roughly 35,400 pounds, and ranging over 2,500 miles, became Brazil's most effective anti-submarine aircraft. Operating from coastal bases, Catalinas detected and attacked German U-boats, directly contributing to the protection of Allied shipping lanes in the South Atlantic. The Martin B-25 Mitchell, reaching around 275 miles per hour, weighing approximately 33,500 pounds, and flying nearly 1,350 miles, equipped Brazil's first fighter squadron operating in Italy. Adapted for ground attack missions, Brazilian-flown B-25s conducted bombing, strafing, and close air support missions with notable effectiveness. The Republic P-47D Thunderbolt, flying at approximately 433 miles per hour, weighing around 17,500 pounds empty, and offering a combat radius near 800 miles, became the most famous Brazilian combat aircraft of the war. Operated by the 1-degree Gruppo da Aviação de Cacca in Italy, it was exceptionally rugged, heavily armed, and devastating in ground attack roles against German supply lines, bridges, and troop concentrations. The Douglas C-47 Skitran, reaching about 230 miles per hour, weighing roughly 26,000 pounds, and offering a range near 1,600 miles, served as the logistical backbone of Brazilian aviation. It transported troops, supplies, medical evacuees, and equipment, both within Brazil and overseas. The Volti BT-13 Valiant, a basic trainer flying at around 180 miles per hour and weighing approximately 4,500 pounds, supplemented Brazil's training fleet. Though challenging to fly, it produced disciplined pilots capable of transitioning to high-performance combat aircraft. The Lockheed C-60 Lodestar, a military transport variant, reached around 260 miles per hour weighed roughly 22,000 pounds, and had a range of about 1,700 miles. It was used for personnel transport, command liaison, and strategic movement across long distances. The CNNA HL-1, a basic training aircraft, was a light, simple design intended for primary pilot instruction. With low wing loading, forgiving handling, and modest speed, it allowed novice pilots to master takeoff, landing, and basic aerobatics. Though limited in performance, it played an essential role in establishing Brazil's early military flight training infrastructure. The CNNA HL-6, an improved trainer, represented a refinement of earlier CNNA concepts. It featured better structural strength, improved flight stability, and more reliable systems, making it better suited for sustained training use. While still a basic aircraft by international standards, it marked a step forward in Brazilian aeronautical engineering and maintenance capability. The CNNA HL-8, a training aircraft used by the Brazilian Air Force, was designed specifically to support military pilot instruction. More standardized than earlier models, it helped unify training procedures and reduce dependence on foreign aircraft for early-stage instruction. Its role was purely instructional, but its value lay in producing trained pilots for frontline Allied aircraft. The FG Biplano de Treinamento, an early training biplane, reflected pre-war aviation design philosophy emphasizing stability and low-speed handling. Its biplane configuration provided excellent lift and gentle stall behavior, ideal for beginner pilots. Although obsolete by World War II standards, it remained useful for foundational flight training and familiarization. The FG Monoplano de Treinamento, a training monoplane, represented Brazil's transition away from biplanes toward modern aircraft layouts. With higher speeds and cleaner aerodynamics than biplane trainers, it better prepared pilots for contemporary combat aircraft. Its introduction helped bridge the gap between early trainers and advanced American-supplied aircraft. The CAP-1 Planalto, a multi-role aircraft, was one of Brazil's more ambitious domestic designs. Used by the Brazilian Air Force in utility roles, it supported liaison, light transport, and general service duties. Though not a combat aircraft, it demonstrated Brazil's intent to develop versatile platforms suited to national needs and limited industrial resources. Despite limited industrial capacity, Brazil successfully integrated into the Allied air war through training, discipline, and operational focus. Rather than attempting domestic aircraft production, Brazil concentrated on mastering modern Allied aircraft and deploying them effectively where needed most. Brazilian pilots flew thousands of combat sorties in Italy and the Atlantic, proving that a smaller air force could make a decisive contribution through professionalism and coordination. If you enjoy deep aviation history, rare World War II aircraft, and detailed analysis of overlooked Allied air forces, subscribe now, because even more massive aircraft profiles and expanded historical deep dives are coming soon.